than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100 plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100 plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500 plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster edge expertise. We partner with 100 plus authorized training partners and 50 plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council.
Hello everyone, we'll be starting a session now. Just allow me to share my screen. Give me a minute.
Hey everyone,
please.
from me as well, Peter.
Thank you very much, Peter. So I hope my screen is visible to you all, and here we go. So yes, I welcome you all to the last session of GSDC Certified Learning AI Leadership Mastery with a theme that is Lead the AI Revolution, Master the Art of AI Leadership for Transformative Impact. And I was so grateful to host, I got this opportunity to host this entire webinar series, which was scheduled from 15 September to 19 September 2025 with the time slot that was 8:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Singapore time. And today we'll be having a last session of 90 minutes, including 15 minutes of Q&A. Also, today we'll be having Peter, with us, and he'll be taking us through the topic that is AI leadership shaping the future of business at scale. So before I could hand over the virtual mic to him, I would like to introduce our hosting organization, GSDC. We're known as Global Skill Development Council. We are vendor agnostic, vendor neutral. We are globally recognized certification body, and we are accredited by NSI and ABICB. We do have 100 plus certification portfolio with us, and we have certified more than 250,000 professionals worldwide. We have 500 SMEs with us. They work with us closely to design our deliverables, and we associated with 1,000 multinational corporates and 500 Fortune companies and 50 plus universities across the globe. And I'm very proud to inform you all that we do have 100 plus authorized training partner across the globe. We have partner in Asia, Africa, Canada, America, and many other countries. So I would love to thank you, those who have joined us through our training partner channel. If you are looking for any training program for yourself, I'll be sharing the link in the chat box. So you can reach out to our training partners to inquire about the programs that you are looking for. A special thanks to our official media partner, World Press Hub, for covering all our events and press releases. As I mentioned earlier in my previous slide, that we do have 100 plus certification portfolio, which includes certification on generative AI, agentic AI, PMO professional, generative AI in cybersecurity, risk and compliance, also related certification. As you can see, we have certification on all this domain. In case if you're looking for this certification in order to upskill yourself, you can definitely reach out to our learning advisor to get more information and details on this. Also, you can explore our website, that is www www.gsdcouncil.org to check all the offerings that GSDC has for all of you. What benefits you'll be getting with this certification? So you'll be a GSDC member for a lifelong. With that, you'll be getting certificate upgrade. You'll be having free access to all our events, workshop, boot camps, and you'll be getting all the exclusive learning program that we do have. Along with that, you'll be getting implementation resources, speaker invites, and newsletter. So isn't it great? You'll be able to get this all benefits if you opt out for the certifications that GSDC has for all of you. So without any further delay, let me tell you more about Peter. So Peter is an international keynote speaker, executive coach, and corporate leader with over 20 years of experience leading award-winning virtual teams across Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. A Bulgarian native and mathematician by training, he combines passion, power, and performance to help leaders inspire high-performing diverse team. Peter is also senior Bulgarian champion in javelin. So we are excited to have him with us today. So please join me welcoming Peter. And thank you very much, Peter, for joining today's session. You can take the handover of the virtual mic. Thank you.
Thank you, Pritam. It's an honor. And hi, everyone from Bulgaria. I usually live in Germany, but recently I travel a lot. So this week I'm in Bulgaria, next one in Latvia and Europe and so on. But I'm very pleased to be with you, 60 plus people today. And we have the topic of AI and leadership, AI leadership, shaping the future of business at scale. I'd like to start with 5 words, which 55 years ago have casted the world in fear and hope, which are still a symbol of the unexpected that calls for urgent action, which for free men and their families meant a 1-week struggle for life or death. These 5 words are Houston, we have a problem. Imagine the year is 1970, by the way, the year when I was born. Precisely it is 11th of April and the clock in Houston shows 13:13. Precisely in this moment in time, the American space agency NASA shoots the spaceship Apollo 13 to the moon. The experts plan to land on the moon in 4 days. On the 3rd day, April the 13th, there is a loud crash and the 3 astronauts see how white powder flows into the space. This is their oxygen. 2 from their 3 oxygen tanks have just exploded and their entire oxygen flows into the space. The Houston Control Center is in panic. No one has ever planned with such a disaster. The families of the 3 astronauts are completely horrified. How many of you have seen the film Apollo 13? Just give me yes and no on the chat. So, while you're typing, if this here is the Earth, okay, a few of you yes, and up there is the moon, on the 3rd day, April the 13th, there is a loud crash and the 3 astronauts see how the white powder flows from the space. So this is where the cross on the picture is. If they continue flying according to the plan, they have energy until somewhere between the Earth and the moon where the line stops, but not enough to reach the gravity of the Earth and so to be pulled on the Earth's surface. It is clear now the mission landing on the moon has failed. All already planned geological or other lunar research have been blown away by this explosion. Now, the lives of the astronauts are at stake. Now it is a matter of life or death. In the Houston Control Center, there is one man in charge, the 37-year-old Gene Kranz. He, with his short and flat haircut, he looks you always into the eyes and acts tough but competent. Gene grasps immediately that in order to save the lives of the astronauts, he has to win one fight, the fight for energy. Energy in the space is everything. You need energy in order to move the spaceship, in order to navigate it, but also to communicate with the Earth. Now, every energy unit, every single lamp has a life meaning. Now, they need a miracle. What does Gene Kranz do in this historical moment? He gathers his entire Houston team in one room. The room boils from anxiety and nervousness. By the way, this is the movie Apollo 13. The heads are challenged, the ideas rush around, the hearts are full with care, fear, and hope. Genes listen each and every one very carefully. Gene Kranz. At one point, he calls for silence. Then he pulls all these people spread around the space together. Everyone, the three astronauts in space, the Houston Control Center, scientists, engineers, hundreds of people. Gene says, we haven't lost a man in space until now. And until I'm responsible, no one stays there. Failure is not an option. These are 7 days filled with incredible character strength, genius feats of engineering, but above all, an extraterrestrial triumph of leadership. On the 17th of April, the land capsule of Apollo 13 lands, or rather splashes in the Pacific, and the three astronauts are rescued. This is a miracle. This is virtual power. This is a virtual power team. Now, why I'm telling you this story? How many of you work in a team where at least one team member is not in the same location, either working from home or from the other side of the world? Just give me yes or no. And thank you, Christine, for your generous help here. Christy. Now, COVID made us even more virtual. I see 5 new responses, and some of you are virtual, some of you not. COVID made us all virtual for a moment. The lockdown period, we had to collaborate with people which are not in the same room, not in the same location, and we still have to work together. Now, post-COVID, we believe that we can manage virtual and hybrid teams. Sometimes some of part of the team is in the office, the other are located, but still there a lot of money on the table, Kazan said on a business jargon. There is still a lot of opportunities not yet used. So as Prita mentioned, I had a chance to lead large international team, fully virtual, and developed somebody. You're not hearing me well? Pritam, is this something? Is it?
I can, for me, your voice is good. There's no issue.
Maybe it's exceptional. Okay. Maybe it's just an exception. Okay. Thank you guys for the feedback. Okay. So we had to work more and more in virtual and now hybrid teams. And it's not just about knowing Teams and Zoom. It's about setting the goals in an optimal way, establishing a structured communication, and the optimal culture. And really, if you do this right, there is a big opportunity. And now we have another reality. By the way, in the heart of COVID, I was invited in Tanzania to run a workshop. This is part of the team. And with the teams that I managed as a manager and now coaching, we won 2 global awards. So the methods that I will share with you today are proven in practice and yet not a rocket science. They're quite easy to understand. So on one hand, to scale our business globally and internationally, in this lack of talent and some aging population, we have to work with virtual team and using the global talent. And the other dynamic, which is coming now for 2-3 years, is the elephant in the room, the AI, artificial intelligence, the huge enabler who is now becoming more independent, smarter, becoming a team member. So we need to integrate the new type of hybrid teams, and we have human and AI. So I will shed light on both, how to integrate and lead large global virtual hybrid teams, and how to integrate AI in an optimal way. Thank you, Christy. Very kind. Now, over the years, I've worked with over 200 clients, some of them big, probably most of them big multinationals, but where we enable their global teams, and now we are upskilling their people. Recently had an online masterclass with 600 people, upskilling them on Copilot and creating agents and so on. Some are like small and medium enterprises, and other are even startups when they explore the global talent, and there are a few NGOs. So I'd like to scan the audience for a moment. Scan, that sounds a bit too maybe scary. Just to check, we've prepared a poll with Pritam. Pritam, maybe you help me out. Can you run the first poll, please?
Sure.
It's just to see how many of you come from corporate, small, medium enterprises, startups, NGO, or maybe we have some students as well. So poll is coming up. All right.
I hope it's visible. over the screen?
It is visible on my
Okay, great.
side. Yeah, people are voting very actively.
Great.
Thank you, guys. Looks like we have at the moment most corporate, few students, and then startup, corporate, startup, SME, NGO. So let's, Pritam, please end the poll, and thank you. Great
Sure.
response. And share results you could share with everyone. As you can see, most of us coming from corporate background, but also small, medium enterprise is quite distributed. Just a few NGOs and then students. Now, in the small mediums, we are building power teams, including their partners and suppliers. So you can build virtual power teams beyond your organizational boundaries. Same method applies. And with NGOs, I work with Teach for All, with a global presence, or Youth Against AIDS. Again, even if you don't have a boss, you don't have a salary, same methods apply that I'll be sharing. My presentation is structured in three main areas. First, the new hybrid teams, where we have humans and AI, and how to build powerful teams between human and AI, even if humans are distributed worldwide. Second is how to establish a structured communication between the people, considering that some are on the other side of the world, some are working asynchronously and not online all the time, and also how to prompt AI in an effective way. I will do some practical live demos and share some insights, hopefully new for you guys, so we'll be learning together, and we will be having a dialogues with AI and so on. And the third one is how to establish the optimal culture in those new teams. Now, the new hybrid teams, human and AI, and if you have questions, I'll be polling you every now and then, but feel free to put it in the chat, and with Pritam kind help, I'll answer them in the end. Now, how many of you heard about this study the Cybernetic Teammate Harvard Business School published recently? They did a study with Procter & Gamble, and they explored teams with AI and teams without AI. Who is familiar with this study? Just put yes or no on the chat. Now, I'll carry on. So they had 700 plus people in the study. Thank you. And they explored four scenarios. One scenario, one individual, human, without AI. Another is individual, human being, plus AI. And then we have two people team without AI and two people team plus AI, fourth scenario. And what they discovered was quite striking. So first of all, teams with AI, and I'll give you the exact numbers, were more productive, delivered better results, and they had more fun in the end. Second, and let's go with the numbers. So this is impact on performance. You see on the left, individual without AI, it's like minus 0.1. Team with no AI, two people, then one person plus AI outperforms two people, and 2 person plus AI outperform the others. And you see also that the number of people as they grow and have AI, you have hit the diminishing returns. So not sure if you know, there is a magic number that Amazon is using, the optimal size of a team. Have you heard it? What is the optimal size of a team before AI entered the scene? Give me your guess, like 3 people, 5 people. 7 to 9. Thank you, Rahul. Yes, 5. Very good. So Amazon is calling the 2 pizza team. And 2 pizza team, for Amazon, the magic number is 6. But 5 to 7 is great, as you put it. 2 pizza 6, you need at least 5. You need some diversity in style and thinking, cognitive style, and so on, in order to get top performance. But as you go more and more, the communication ways grow exponentially. So with AI, I believe the optimal will be even less than 5, but with AI. So as I mentioned, they perform better. You see the numbers. Impact on expertise. Sometimes if you have marketing people and engineers in one room, software engineers, they kind of speak different language and conflict is very natural. Now, in this case, AI helped as a mediator and smoothen the conversation. And if you have functions which have like a natural conflict, they work better together, and everyone had an extended expertise, which in the end enriched the overall results. So the positive impact on the expertise was also there. And the last one, they felt better. They felt happier. Funny enough, just two people, as you see, the progression. Two people with AI had much more fun than without it. And yesterday I ran a 2 days workshop in person with 30 people, and we had so much laughter. I was again surprised how much fun people can have with AI and still learn on the way. Now, next poll, Pritam, what can people do better than AI, and what AI can do better than people? So we will put the poll. Feel free also to put it on the chat. Yeah, here is the poll. Okay. So you have to deliver a short answer, which I guess Pritam will be published probably on the chat as well, right? Or the poll will publish it in the end. Yeah, list your preferences on the one. Okay. I see people are answering. Thank you for that. By the way, one of the key insights that I will mention in the end, just to use the time wisely, is for every opportunity to replace somebody with AI, there are 10 opportunities that this individual can collaborate with AI. So 1 to 10, this is the current ratio. So it's not about replacing people, but augmenting people with AI and then delivering the magic. Let's close the poll and see the results. Okay, so the results are being shared. Okay. I know you're sharing, Pritam. I don't see the results.
I've
Strangely.
started sharing it. Are you able to see the view details? If you click on that, you'll be able to see the answers.
I need to click where?
View details, there's an option on the poll itself.
Okay. Just a second. I'm full screen. Okay. Right. So I see just the percentages. So people said one or two. Okay, they didn't put a short answer in words, right?
I believe so. And
Although,
also,
okay, cool. It was like yes or no. So we had then in this case, just for you, everyone, thanks for the effort. We had, just for the record, 23 people, 92% people AI can do things better than people, and 88%, a little bit less, think people can do things better than AI. All right, so AI had a slight advantage. And here, without saying that this is an extensive summary, AI and machines can process huge amount of data, much bigger than any human brain. They can solve complex problems because of the bigger context they could digest. Very important for us is they could discover patterns in a big data. And based on these patterns, they could give us insights, ideas, practical ideas. And people, we are still creative. AI can combine and it can write songs and podcasts and videos. That's what we did also in this training. But original content is still the people parameter. So by combining created content, AI can deliver amazing things, but people still have the creativity to discover completely new things. And then human on the loop, we still have the judgment because we have the human experience, and it's better to retain the judgment. We are empathic. We could empathize with other human beings. We understand the ethics. You can train AI brilliantly to understand the concept of ethics, but it's not having a human experience is a limiting factor. And then we can do a compromise based on the human values. Importantly, the feedback loop, when we give input to AI, AI gives us insights. Based on that, we create another input. This feedback loop And reskilling and upskilling creates the magic that, we as a human can actually bring the best of AI. Only AI and agents can talk to agents, and we will simulate this today. But the best and the magic comes when the human is touching AI. And as I mentioned already, the combination automation versus collaboration is 1 to 10. Okay, let me just bring the chat up because it's been. I see some new messages in the chat. Right. Okay, thank you. Now, let's move on. By the way, I'm a mathematician, master of mathematics. Decided to publish one book when I started. I left the corporate world. I was an IT manager running this large IT team in EMEA, Eastern Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And when I started getting traction with the virtual power teams, people asked me, how can you defend this method? How can you protect it? So copyright is not possible for like soft leadership methods. Why don't you write a book? Said, if I write a book, it will be a story. Otherwise, it will be boring, just management methodology and maybe some graphs and formulas, as I will share with you. I put a story, and then the book, for my big surprise, was translated in 6 languages, including Chinese on the top right. I don't know, where is my name there coded, and Polish and Spanish and so on. Bulgarian, my mother tongue, and German. And it's been Amazon top 3 for 1 week in the category international management. Just for 1 week, but I keep this screenshot dear to my heart. Now, and 2020, I was traveling less, so I put another book, Power Teams Beyond Borders, not just in the business context, but here is about communities, global communities tackling the toughest challenges of humanity. Now, let's see these global teams, the new hybrid teams, where we have human and AI. By the way, I'm a father of 5 girls. No joke. 1 wife, 1 marriage, 5 girls. Apparently, that's the only thing I can. I've tried long enough. So the next, I think, book will be The Virtual Power Family, where, once children leave the house and you have parents living somewhere differently, how can you still retain the gravity and the emotional connection? Now let's have a look, and here we will be also prompting how to establish the structure and communication between humans and also humans and AI. Just a little joke from the COVID times. This is your pilot speaking. I'm working from home today, just remotely. Now, Google did an experiment just to understand what makes human teams tick and deliver top performance. Google did an experiment and they research and correlated their best teams, and they wanted to discover which is the one characteristics that they all have in common. And as they researched, they discovered that most of the team, more than 90%, when they have a meeting of the top performing, they have an equal share of talking. So the extroverts start speaking up, but at some point they shut up by themselves. The introverts then speak up, and in the end they end up with an equal share of talking, which was quite a discovery. But it was not 100%. They wanted to have a 100% characteristic. They continued to research, and in the end they found it. Do you know, maybe you heard about this Google project for what is the one team characteristic that all best performing teams have in common? What do you think? Just put on the chat. Trust. Thank you, Christy. Big time. They put it a bit more specific, but trust is a huge enabler there. What else? Collaboration. Yes. Thank you, Josephine. They come up with a bit of tricky term, and when I mention it in a moment, probably you've heard it. So without any exception, all best performing team, they had psychological safety, which means that people feel safe enough to take risks without being afraid that if they fail, they will be demotivated, they will be fired, they will be left at. They feel safe enough to take risks. That's number one. Number two, they feel safe enough to show their vulnerability to each other, not just to show their perfect side, as we sometimes do in social media, but also show their weaknesses, their vulnerability. So the combination of two creates the space where top performance grows. And this is called Google Aristotle, this project. So you can Google it for further details. Yes, yes. Thank you, Christy. So this is number one. Then you have dependability, where trust is also trusting each other, structure and clarity, clear goals, clear roles, meaning and impact. Now, some home office tips. You can do this, but not for long. Now, I was in Bali 2019 speaking on a conference calling Running Remote. And there we had 500 people in the room, mainly founders of startups, which decided not to have an office. They decided to be remote. I'm just seeing something in the chat. Yes, yes. Thank you for sharing. Yes. So, it's paradox. So, and then there was a question we were using Slido, and there was a question, what is the number one tip to lead remote workers? What is the number one skill, actually? And people were giving their 500 people working intensively remote were giving their views and insights. And then the one in this word clouds, one word was in the middle of the cloud, and that was, what do you think? What is the number one skill for leading remote workers? Give me one guess on the chat. Let's see how many of you work remotely. There were some engagement. Thank you, Zubair. Big time. Data, now in the new world. Remote, yes. Data also in terms of performance, engagement. Communication has to do with communication, yes. Distractions can have a negative effect. Yeah, how to handle distraction in terms of individual motivation. Video, yes, using video to communicate. Great stuff. I love it. Slack Connect, yes. And on the Slack, you could have personal and professional channels, yes. Thank you, guys. Great stuff. The word on the screen, which I share, had to do with communication. It was like over communicate. And over communicate, you see interactions, you have video. The aspect which then the panel discussed were twofold. Once, don't just give the task in isolation, because people will start asking you separate question, peers, and it will be sub-effective. Give them the goal, why we do what we do. Let them know it. And for this, for example, video could be a big enabler. So asynchronously, everyone can digest. And actually, as a best practice, they share, the leaders and the captains of this company, once a month, they share the vision for the month. So give them the bigger picture, why we do what we do, over communicate in a smart way, not to everyone individually, and then make sure they understand. Because sometimes, you get the results, say, this is not what I wanted. Who is to blame? Myself, who gave the communication, not being clear. So invest a bit in over communication in a smart way, you get better results. Then, as a father of 5 girls, if there is one thing that worked, and I've tried to give critical feedback based on the best Harvard best practices and failed miserably, one thing that works and it's applicable for remote and hybrid teams is praise, praise, praise. And even AI is now praising us. But you may ask, but what to praise? If there is some good result, praise the result. And then people will see, like my daughters, but also in the team. If there is no result yet, but people show positive behavior like psychological safety, they ask for help, they offer help, and so on, praise the behavior. If there is no result nor behavior, look harder. There is always something to praise. So, and that would create this environment that will then enable the top performance. Thank you, Christy. Okay, so, and then if you do a mistake, this psychological safety, the biggest lever you have as a leader is be the first one. If you do a mistake, to say, hey, I made a mistake. I was wrong because this, and that. So you turn it into the learning opportunity. This is some companies, and excuse my language here, they do like fuck up Friday, they call it FF. And they share the failures, they share the mistakes, and they learn from them. But this enables this psychological safe environment. People take risks, it enables further. Yes, praise in public, criticize in private, big time. Now, as a mathematician, cannot leave you without one formula, and this is Virtual Power Teams formula, P plus V plus I divided by S. It was spoiled already a bit by the animation. P stands for personality. Don't just focus on the business. You may have a global team. ensure people connect as human beings. And they're beautiful formats. We're using the life journey. People draw their life journey with the highlights, the moment of excellence, the lowlights, and so on. Share, huge connection. They're formats you as a manager need to provide time and space for people to connect as human beings. Then they will give much more. This is how you seed trust, also as Christy mentioned, key enabler for psychological safety and performance. So personality, don't focus just on the skills, focus on the human beings. Vision should be clear. I say that the virtual team is like an atom, virtual hybrid, where you have a nucleus and then you have various particles flying around. In a virtual team, we aim to retain the gravity despite the distance, the gravity between the individual team members, which are the particles in the model, towards the nucleus. But the nucleus is not the manager or project manager. This is the team purpose and goal. So therefore, the purpose, the vision has to be set bottom up, not just cascaded. The more virtual team, the more important it is. And in my method, we have a step-by-step process to set the goal. And then I is a bit tricky. It's not innovation. It is actually intimacy. We need to provide people to connect on a deeper level. This is by sharing vulnerability as discovered by Google. Wow. Thank you, guys. Yes. A lot of great comments are going on the way. I hope you follow the chat. And then S, which is divided by S, which is the less S, the better, is actually self or ego. In many corporate teams, as majority of us are, you have, sometimes the manager have some hidden agenda, to drive his career progression or bonus scheme. But if you set the goal bottom up as a team, and everyone picks his goal, this is part also of the virtual power team method, based on their strengths, and you praise, and pour them with praise, they don't have to deliver a hidden agenda. They're happy to work on the goals decided as a team. So in this case also you drive top performance. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, guys. Now, let's look what happens when the AI steps into the room and how we can integrate AI as a team member. By the way, excuse me again, maybe I'm borderline, but AI is like teenage sex. Everyone talks about it. Nobody really knows how to do it in detail. Everyone thinks that everyone else is doing it, and therefore everyone claims that they are doing it as well. So let's shed some light how this is done. I believe many of you have used it already. Let's start the poll. And please tell me, first of all, let's answer the first question. What AI have you used so far? Just put on the chat the tools that you use so far to get a feeling. Thank you, Christy. Chat, yes, ChatGPT and Copilot, Claude, Gemini, these are the biggies, Meta. Okay, and how AI helped you at work? Thank you, Christy. We have some profis here. Give me one use case or one scenario where AI helped you at work. Brief. Yes. Productivity, meeting notes, excellent. Perplexity, yes. Favorite, deep research and strategic conversation. Excellent. So looks like we have a great audience here. Let's now crack on. As I mentioned, design IDP. Yes. Quick presentation slides. I wonder how many of you have used gamma.app. It's amazing for presentation. Creating the content with ChatGPT or Claude and then turning into Gamma, yes. Okay, so we have a lot of expertise. Now you can feedback on the chat. Let's step in. Maybe I like stories as a speaker. Let me give you just because the topic is scaling business with AI. This is the newest unicorn in the mining business. Very, very traditional business. And this is a company of 200 people. OpenAI, 700 people when they create the ChatGPT. This is 200 people. What they do, they drill in a very fine drills, not like the traditionals, huge, drill. And then they drill much deeper, they scan for radio waves, and then they compare this profile of waves down there with the 100-year-old geological data. And if they see machine learning algorithm, if they see that the profile is for copper, gold, or other precious metal, then they put the bigger drill and make the mine and exploit the metal. So this is the first mining unicorn, which means a company with more than $1 billion evaluation. What is the profile? Just to see the disruptors which scale with AI. The profile is 200 people. 1/3 are geoscientists, which is the core business there in mining. 1/3 are AI person, knowing the algorithms, machine learning, generative AI. And 1/3 are software engineers, which make it, connect. They discovered the biggest copper place in Zambia, I think, ever. Stepping with a smart AI algorithm in the centuries old industry. Current valuation 2 billion. Now, let's do the first, not this prompt. So I'll stop sharing for a moment. The first tip when you prompt, and I'm sure many of you know it, is tell AI who it is. Usually I say like, he or she, and on keynotes people call me out. It's not he or she, so now I would call it it. But yes, the role play the role. Tell it who it is, like world-class, whatever, software engineer, world-class CEO. It is a large language model. If you tell the role, it's part of the prompt, then it will take the appropriate areas of its knowledge when it generates the response, and you get much better response. And it's been proven. Google did a lot of benchmark tests. It's been proven that it works better. So always start with you are, whatever you want it to be, in order to get the better prompt. Yes. So I will give you 3 tips, which some of you may know, some of you not, for a good prompting, 3 or 4. Hopefully some of them will be like surprising. And then we will do another role play, but AI will be a persona, we'll have a dialogue, even we will be talking to 2 different AI agents, if you will. But first with a prompt, I will share my screen. So I was, usually I ask the audience and they come up with the idea that we explore. In this case, it's like you are a world-class trainer and I'm a young professional, just graduated, and I would like to develop skills in data science. Now, if you look banks and so on, they do a lot of, they need a lot of data science professionals. And I would ask, oops, not this one, sorry. Let me open ChatGPT. Do you see the screen with ChatGPT? We will be using extensively this exercise, dictating. I'm not typing almost at all. But now we would ask ChatGPT to come up with a learning plan for us. We are in GSDC, you develop a lot of certifications, you are very eager to learn. So let's see what tip will give us ChatGPT as a world-class trainer and skill developer. We say we have just 1 day per week. Please build me a 4-month learning plan with free resources where I can get a certificate in the end. And if you have yeah, I see some people on the chat. Okay, yes, fantastic. So my ChatGPT is configured to do many things that usually it is not. And these are part of the tips that I'll give you in a moment. But it listed here constraints. By the way, is it visible, the screen? It's visible and good enough to read it. Graduated, so it specify the context. As you know, the more context you provide, the better response you get from a large language model. You have the prompt and then the context, uploading files, answering question, being more specific, the better the response. Here, it makes like a plan. As I said, first tip is tell it who it is, the role. Second, ask it to think step by step and come up with a plan before providing the answer, like in this case. It's like human being. If you ask me something, I could immediately start answering the question. But if I take some time, to think before I give you the answer, I will give you a better answer. Similarly with the large language model, the plan that it created, the thinking, is part of the prompt when it generates the response. Oops, I see here my battery is going down. So this is what it developed, what matters most in the data science, and makes a list: Python, Math, Statistic Basics, free certificate granted platforms, Coursera, EDX, maybe you're familiar with many of those. And then comes the plan, format plan, Python, data analysis foundations, week 1 and 2. And then for each of them, it gives you, in this case not, we will ask for sources. It gives us here the intro, apply for financial aid, free certificate. So it gives you the names of the potential suppliers, which also provide certificate. We said 4 months. It's coming one with the 4 months. Now, what we can do, and guys, tell me, please, I'll just plug my laptop here in the power. From home. If you want to tune something, let me know. So, oops, excuse me. Yes, thanks for the feedback. Absolutely, yes. Yes. So, who you are should be clear, the role of the AI. Think first, give me a plan before providing the answer. Then the third one is, they call it few shots prompting. Not sure, have you heard about few shots prompting? Sometimes you give a prompt, then you get the result and you start tuning it. Could be anything. Change the tone, make it a bit more humorous, boot its structure with bullet points, make it sound like, I don't know, Albert Einstein. It would respond to all these requests from you. But sometimes, probably many of you notice, if you do several iterations, it's not becoming better. What works better for large language model is to provide an example, good example and bad example. And if you upload a good example of a response, it will steer towards having it, in this direction. If you provide a bad example, it will steer away from the bad example. So this is very, very important. Now, one thing, how many of you heard about self-evaluation? Which is you ask ChatGPT to evaluate itself. Anyone? So let's go back to the ChatGPT. It gave us a good response. Yes, thank you, Zubair. And now we say, we're using the voice interface. Now, give me the strengths and weaknesses of your response and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the maximum. So, yes, exactly. This is the self-evaluation. Thank you, Zubair. Now, it put it in Bulgarian. Not even Bulgarian, it's Macedonian language. Sometimes it happens. I'm a native Bulgarian. Now I'm dictating in English. Please evaluate your response on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the max, and give me your strengths and weaknesses. And take into account that I need the sources for all the free resources that you put in your response. Okay, now you see, if you say it's in English, it will change itself. Now going. So it is like in coaching, if you sweat too much as a coach, something is wrong. Use AI to evaluate itself, and you will see it will give us a response on a new level. Now, it has been structured, 4 months, balance, and so on, but they were missing direct links. Yes, I noticed that on the free resources. He didn't explain the certificate conditions clearly, like Kaggle gives completion certificate, Coursera needs financial aid. Could be clear, or a time estimation per course, like 1 day a week is enough. Didn't flag the trade-off between learning depth and number of certificates. Could polish the final outcome. And now, here, everything is with the sources. You see with the line, it becomes blue. Each one, Kaggle, each one of the courses. So Um, Thank you. Thank you, Christy. Just asking AI to self-evaluate, you save a lot of effort. You could also ask another AI to evaluate. So you can copy the results and go to Gemini or to Claude and say, okay, now critique this response, put the strengths and weaknesses, improve it. And then again, you don't sweat too much, you get a better response. So use this, it helps a lot. Now, there are a few things which probably you haven't heard yet. If you say to AI, take a deep breath in your prompt, it gives you 46% better response. Google did a benchmark test. It's not a joke, sounds like a joke. It's not a joke. One explanation, one logical explanation is that the area of internet in the training data where you have these words, take a deep breath, they have a better quality input that maybe some aggressive comments and Reddit and so on. But it's been proven. And sometimes because there is a way, yes, exactly. We will do this in a moment. Thank you, Zubair. It's called meta prompting, coming in a moment. Thank you for being proactive. So take a deep breath is another funny thing that helps. If you say, I will tip you, like if you don't mention any tip, any financial incentives, you won't get the best result. If you say, I'll tip you $20, you get 6% better result. If you say, I'll tip you $200, you get better results. Then the more the dollars, the less the response. But this is another thing. And you can do many different emotional tips. Take a deep breath and work step by step. Think first, plan first. I'll tip you $300 for a great result. Or I will lose my job if you give me a wrong answer. Or Google Gemini can do this, you say to ChatGPT, or the other way around. Those things put into the prompt work. Again, not a human being, not a sentient AI, works. Instead of doing it every time in your prompt, there is a smart way to do it. Thank you, Farah. Do you know where you can do it in ChatGPT only once? And similarly, you can do it in the Claude and so on. So if you go to your profile in ChatGPT on the top, at the bottom of the screen, I'm having again this, look how many prompts I have in different languages. But Peter Ivanov, if you click on your profile and you put on the settings, and it's been changed since yesterday. Which one is the best from the AI, you asking me? The top three are certainly ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, and they are different, better in different fields. From my perspective, ChatGPT gives me all-round service. Gemini had the bigger context window and still maintain it. Grok reached the scales. Grok on the level of mathematical text, biology, chemistry has beaten PhD, so it's smarter than PhD. And Claude is good for programming, from imitating human speech and so on. But as they come with a new version, they become, even better, and this change a little bit. You only see the main window. Do you see the ChatGPT? Yes, yes. Thank you, Christy. I wanted to show you here. It's in the, but I don't see it because of sharing screen and so on. In the bottom left corner in ChatGPT, you see your profile with the picture. If you click there, there is a menu item, Customize ChatGPT. So there you could put the role and you could put the tips, like always think step by step, take a deep breath, I will tip you this for a great result, and so on. You put it just once, it will be embedded in all of your prompts. Okay, so going back, I'll give you a little bit more theory if you wish, and then we'll do one more demo. I see time is running. We have we have 20 more minutes and then Q&A. Is that right, Pritam?
No, Peter, we are already done with the scheduled time for the session. We should jump into Q&A by now, but you can take five
No,
more
because
minutes.
I was okay. I have 5 minutes, like 4 minutes, because you said 1 hour and we started quarter two. So I had 45 minutes, and then
Yeah, we can cover that time in Q&A. If you want to exceed the session timing, you can go for it. We can take Q&A for next 5 to 10 minutes. We can extend by 10 minutes. That's fine.
okay, cool, thank you. So I'll do the dialogue then. Now, one thing, if we go back to the slides, how to build trust with AI. I had a client in Germany and they were implementing robot process automation. It's called RPA. And people were afraid. This RPA will raise invoices in SAP and put purchase order and collect documents from various different systems. So people in procurement and book counting, they were quite afraid. And then we started working together. I was coaching the team and we decided to make it like human. And in this case, they come up with the name of Brian from Backstreet Boys. Maybe some of you remember, the younger not so much. One of the guys, the singers, and Brian was the new team member to join. And we started creating the role profile, but not in isolation. But there was a working group who put the role profile. Yes, thank you, Christy. And it was shared so people can comment, suggest what Brian can do and cannot do. Thank you, Farah. So the role profile was a co-creation effort. And then in the end, Brian joined the team. There was a welcome party. And Brian sent the mail. That's the original one. Send the mail. I'm not very smart, not being the original, but this AI robot. But with some help and some training and with your patience, I promise you to work 24 by 7. So Brian is a big success now. No people were laid off. Now is Fred also joined. It's a doc and Kate, a lady, doing different RPA tasks. So this is one way. I think key here is humanize worked very well. There are people which don't like to humanize AI, in this case work very well, but also do it transparently. Let people co-create. That was, in this case, deciding instead of in isolation, everything was open for co-creation. Now, how to establish the optimal culture? Another story. A quick story, and then I'll show another demo, quick one. So this is Regina Barzilay. She's American from Israeli origin. 2006, she goes for her regular health check, do the mammogram, and the doctor says breast cancer. Cold shower. Only 1 year ago, she was there with her, same doctor, and he looked at the mammograms, everything okay. So first thought that comes to her mind is what will happen with me? What will happen with my son? 2 years chemotherapy, she's healthy, still healthy. She goes back to her office at MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And when she enters the door of her office, first thought is, what can I do to save all these women and mothers? Only 2 steps, only in the USA, 40,000 women die from breast cancer every year, using our powerful algorithms that we have at MIT. So she goes there, mobilizes the first team member, her student, Adam Yala. So what can I do, this personal responsibility, in order to save the life and ravages to the body? This is Adam Yala. He joins with his doc, and then they start training Murai, the new algorithm scanning mammograms. But to be smart, to be practical, they need at least 200,000 mammograms. First challenge. So they win the heart. These are the mammograms where AI can pick much earlier if there is any pattern developing. So Connie Lemon on the right provides the mammograms, 200,000, anonymized. They start training. And a year later, Murai is predicting 5 years ahead, not like previous 2 years ahead, with 75% plus accuracy, not like the previous 25% based on only the doctor judgment and anthropometric and the patient history. So Mura is now a reality, employed in USA, in several states, in Sweden, in Taiwan, and shows what AI and people, when they join forces, what they can do. And Regina put her first mammogram that the doctor said okay, and Murai said high risk. So AI and people working together can save lives. Now, let's look at another use case, and then I think I'll open for questions as well. How many of you have used AI agents? In ChatGPT, the closest to the engine is like custom GPT, which can take persona and so on. Give me yes or no if you used AI agents. Or maybe with Zapier, you did kind of real agents connect to tools using the brain of ChatGPT and sending emails and so on. Thank you. So let's use one of my favorite custom GPTs, and I have many of my own developed, but one that I'm using from their store. So if you click here on GPTs, you see my screen, GPTs. I do for myself book writing assistant, GPT, the email polyglot, email respondent for my AI keynotes and trainings, email responder for my virtual Power Teams trainings, and so on. But this user persona generator is a special one. And I use it. I have my own users for different client types like HR director and so on. This is for my business. But for now, I would like to create another persona and just to show how easy you can have a dialogue. And because we have young people in the audience, I was thinking that we could go for maybe to ask ChatGPT to take the role of a software developer, a young software developer. I know for a fact that some of the entrepreneurs I know and coach, they don't recruit young programmers because the senior ones with AI, they're super productive. They don't need young. But this is a kind of not a long-term solution because people will be pipeline will dry up and they will have no seniors. So, but for now, many software developers are now looking for jobs and so on. So that would be one example. It could be anything you ask it to be. So simulate a persona of a software developer with like 3 years experience, a young one. We ask now, click enter, and it's a smart one. It will ask our questions. No, I don't like, this is too probably not the right one. Let me go to the GPTs and I will search again. By the way, to the previous point, Zubair mentioned, I did the prompt. One tip I didn't say, but it's very universal and very powerful. When you do a prompt, add to the prompt now, help me improve my prompt. You ask in the same prompt, ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini to improve your prompt. And you can say, ask me 2 or 3 questions, one at a time, that will make the prompt greater. So then, particularly for more complex prompt, this is invaluable. You will get 2, 3 specific questions to clarify the context. It will build further prompt and then respond, and you get much better response. This is called meta prompting, where AI is helping you to create your prompt in an optimal way. Thank you, Christy. You are amazing. So, GPTs, I'm not sure if this is the user persona generator. For now, let's use it. Usually it asks me question, what is the industry, what is your target audience? Now it was a bit too quick. It assumed some things. So it say, okay, my name is Alex Carter. I'm a mid-level software developer with 3 years experience. And it gives you can ask specifically for anything, and we could have a conversation with this persona, but it gives you valuable things like problems, juggling multiple tasks without clear priorities, feeling stuck between junior and senior levels, gives you the pain points. All this could be selling points to you, influencing points. It's invaluable also for project management, managing stakeholders and so on. So pains, burnout, pay feels, build technical depth are the goals, gain credibility and so on. Context, it gives you the story. I've been working as a software developer for about 3 years. When I first got hired, I just thrilled someone, trusted me with... You can have any conversation like what motivates me to stay at my current despite frustration and so on. They are great conversation starters. The point here is what I'm using it with business clients and they love it. You could simulate key stakeholders, could be the CEO of a client or supplier, and then you could have a conversation you could simulate and role play before meeting it to prepare for the meeting, for example. Or you can ask to personalize communication, email, offer, and so on, considering this persona. And the more you provide context about the industry, the age, and so on, the better it is. So, for example, now I can click this button and have a conversation. Not sure if you'll hear only my voice, maybe, but I say, hi, I would like to discuss with you, and I would like to invite also one HR director who potentially will interview you for a job. So, how it feels for struggling to get a job for 3 months, and what is your plan to resolve it? This is the question to the software developer.
Absolutely, stepping right into the shoes of Alex here. Well, from my perspective as Alex, the mid-level software dev who's been job hunting for 3 months.
Stop for a moment. Do you hear the response of ChatGPT or you hear only my voice? Christy, you're my both. Excellent. So we can continue the conversation. Yes, excellent. So yes, carry on with your frustration. And then we will invite the HR director who can interview you so you can practice with that. So what are your frustration points?
Absolutely, I can keep going as Alex. Let's dig into those frustrations a bit more. So as Alex, here's how I put it. Lack of priorities, one of my biggest day-to-day frustrations is that we often get a bunch of tasks thrown our way without a clear sense of what really matters most. It's like I want to do good work, but I'm constantly juggling and guessing. Why does this bug me? Because it makes me feel like I'm not actually making an impact, just putting out fires.
Okay.
Feelings.
Because this is a demo, I'd like to ask now the HR director of a software company who is open for young software engineers. What are you looking most? What kind of certificate skills?
Oops, your message triggered our safety system, designed to block attempts at exploiting our GPTs. If this seems like an error, please let us know through our...
Okay, I will stop now, but you could simulate. Yesterday we had with a business client conversation between the marketing director, the client CEO, and the engineering team. And we did beforehand a deep research about the strategy of this new product and market entry. So it was great to have these people that, it's hard to get in order to tune your pitch and so on. Okay, I will allow time for Q&A. Let me just share two things and then we can ask questions. This is one story. I can share a video with you if you want. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll share a video how we establish a culture for a client and turned around a project, 1 billion euro project involving Alibaba and e-commerce. And in order to have question, which is the most valuable part, this is when we won the best of the best award. And yes, let's check for questions. Pritam, you will help me out. And if you want to get a free copy of the book, Virtual Power Teams, you can scan this code. I'm happy to get your questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Peter, for such a amazing and interactive session. So I like to request all the participants, please drop your questions so I can read it for you. So I can see some questions that we have got already. Okay, so I think this is regarding the demo. Onsanya is asking which one can you recommend now or users based on its need and purpose?
Can you say it again, please?
Yeah, which one can you recommend now or users based on its need and purpose?
From what? AI tools, or I missed the first part?
That's the question I can see. Onsanya, it would be great if you elaborate your question a bit more.
I just didn't get to recommend what AI tool or software or leadership tip. I missed the essence.
On AI.
On AI, a free tool
Yes.
or any tool? I think the free version. There was a question about custom GPT. By the way, as I said, for me, ChatGPT is number one. In order to do work for me, I linked it to Zapier. Not sure if you know Zapier, but you could connect Zapier with my Gmail. I connected with my MailChimp, the newsletter, with my ChatGPT. So it can scan my email. If it's an inquiry, put it in a special table in Google Docs with lead, draft me a response, and I just send it. So, but I still use very often same prompt and challenge ChatGPT with Gemini. Gemini, by the way, for images, the new version of Nano Banana for images and Veo for video is great, much better than DALI or even Sora. Claude is great to connect tools. It have like ChatGPT agents cannot create custom GPT, cannot connect tools, but in Claude you have connections and you can link it to your Gmail and so on. And one tip for ChatGPT, if you don't have the paid account, you could create in Google Docs, for example, the instructions which you usually put in a custom GPT. And every time you could have a normal, you keep this, like the chat GPT instructions and goal, you have it ready and you just copy paste it into the prompt. So you will have this custom GPT behavior with a little bit of manual workaround. What else?
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Peter. Christy is asking, beyond your book, do you have other ways in which people can learn more from you?
Yes, I have my LinkedIn newsletter. So I'll share it. By the way, I started with the story Apollo 13. Let me finish with one thing. Do you know that in the universe only 10% is material? 10% are planets and stars. 20% is like nothing, like black holes or phenomena that scientists still cannot explain. And 70% are invisible energy. It's like 70% is the gravity that holds the universe together. And in a virtual teams, hybrid teams is quite similar. Yes, dark energy. 10% are the team members and the infrastructure. 20% are undeveloped yet potentials. And 70% are the relationship, the trust, the gravity that holds the virtual team together. So the art to lead virtual teams is to focus on this 70%, the trust and relationships. And you will be amazed by the wonderful fruits to come. So one sentence that has guided me through the years goes like this. If you dream alone, this is just a dream. If we people dream together, this is the beginning of a new reality. So thank you so much. This is my email and my website, and I'll share in a moment my LinkedIn, where I have like bi-weekly newsletter with a lot of information. And what else I wanted to say? It was great. Thank you for a great session and sharing so much knowledge. I think that's what makes it really enjoyable for me as a speaker. I don't see the faces and the camera, but you've been great interacting. This is my LinkedIn. Feel free to connect with me and also drop me a note if you have a question.
Wonderful, Peter. Thank you so much for sharing such amazing thought earlier. So I will take few more questions, last two, three questions, as we have done with the scheduled time. Unfortunately, I've shared his LinkedIn profile link. Also, he has shared. Kindly do reach out to him. I believe he's more than happy to have an interaction with you all. So thank you so much. Satya Prakash is asking, which program language used on AI Sense?
Python is most used also for different sort of AI. I've been an IT manager. I started programming a CRM in 94, many years ago. And I stopped programming for 30 years. And now I'm programming again with AI. So having AI makes almost everyone a programmer. I'm not sure if you use the tool replit.com. It's one of the tools when you just say in a human language what you need. It creates a web page, it creates an app, could have even e-commerce and so on. Amazing. So right now, everyone could be a programmer and develop applications with the help of AI.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. Can see one question that we have got across live platform.
Mhm.
Victor is asking, what strategies have you found most effective for building AI literacy among diverse virtual teams?
Um, I think the best is doing live demos. So today, usually we have a better interaction, less people. And when today I said, okay, let's do software development and do learning development, but live demos work better. And you ask the audience, they come up with the idea that we want to develop jointly with the help of AI. And you go through the process of the live demo, and then people have million other ideas based on this demo, how to use it in their daily work. So don't show slides, go for live demos. And second one is um, help them, show them what's possible in their industry, and then work out the use cases and go deeper. But essentially, um, do live demos and let them practice after that, and then help them with some tips as they practice. This is the best way to learn. Yesterday and the day before, I had an audience, some really quite advanced AI users, some not even touched it, and we manage in this way to reach a reasonable level in the end of the 2 days. Mhm.
Thank you, Peter. I can see the question that we have got from Rahul asking with the increasing reliance on AI for decision making and automation, do you see a long-term risk of diminishing human logic and critical thinking? How can we ensure that human judgment remains central in an AI-driven future?
Yes, it's a great one, big one. Yes, critical thinking is the thing that we need to teach our kids, and we need to uh, protect it as much as we can and develop it at any opportunity, because this is the way to kind of have a defense mechanism. How to build critical thinking? The simple pragmatic tip is don't just ask AI how to do it, what shall I do? It will give you an answer. Always draft first. Put your ideas, put your input, put your questions, use your brain beforehand in a critical thinking capacity, and then let AI expand it and even critique your thinking. In this way, you practice your brain, you get a much better result, and it will be tuned to your value, to your views. So every time when you prompt, don't start from zero, do the thinking first, expand it. Hmm?
Great. Thank you so much. Wonderfully answered, Peter. Thank you so much. Can see the another question that we have got from Jayesh. Can we be a programming, no knowledge, but prompt engineering programmer to create apps and systems?
Yes, we can. We can. For sure, if it's a very complex system, you need back office engineers, understanding the architecture. But I did several web pages with Replit. It creates the code. I did other integration. It creates the code. If there are error message, you paste the error message. It gives you how to fix the code. So the answer is yes for like relatively simple tasks. But as AI gets smarter, the task that it can do alone by human language and human input will be even more complex. So try the tools Replit is for me one of the best currently, replit.com. But there are others where you just prompt with natural language and you get in the end a full app with full functionality. And if you need a new feature, I was IT managers many years, we had a change advisory board and so on. You just now say in human language, okay, introduce a payment system with credit card. And here you are, and start building it. Mhm.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Peter. I think we should stop here with the Q&As as we're already running out of the scheduled time for the Q&A, unfortunately. So, dear participants, I'm so sorry if I'm missing any questions and would love to encourage you all to reach out to Peter for any question that you have in your mind. And thanks to you all for keeping it more engaging, the session today. Thank you, everybody. Peter, before I move forward, would love to hear final thoughts from you for all our participants today.
I mentioned about let's dream together, and now with AI, if we dream together, people and AI, we create a new reality. It holds true even more. Thank you, Christy, for the great support and all of encouraging words. And guys, embrace the AI revolution. There are apocalyptic scenarios. We have to do a lot of security on the way, but the best way, be proactive, experiment with the tools. You will have competitive advantage. You could share the light and the good way, ethical way of using it. So just embrace it. it is a game changer. Let's be the front runners on it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Peter, for sharing such amazing thoughts with all the participants today. And I hope to see you again for future sessions as well. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you, Pritam, for your great support.
Thank you very much. So yes, would love to make this announcement. Today is the last day of this session, and this offer regarding this certification will be valid for only next 24 to 48 hours. So grab this opportunity and do sign up yourself for these certifications. We do have certification on certified generative AI for leaders and certified generative AI expert. So these certifications are lifetime validated certification, which gives you a learning resources where you'll be getting a lot of case studies to work on, e-learnings and book of knowledge. These certifications are lifelong learnings, which gives you learning flexibility, and you will be getting chance to connect with our training partner channel, and you'll be having an opportunity to work on the capstone project. That is something real-time AI simulation practice. So this is going to be very helpful for all of you. Do grab this opportunity. We are providing 20% off right now. You can use this promo code AI Leader 20 to get an amazing discount on this. I've already shared the link in the chat box. You can check it out. And also, this is utility tool where this tool will help you to improve your LinkedIn profile score, your AI skill score, and also it will help you to build your personal brand. So do grab this opportunity as well. You can use this promo code, which is August 100, to get 100% off. And this is only for our webinar attendees. Also, I'm very happy to make this announcement. We'll be having this webinar on mastering the art of ISO 42001 audits. We do have this incredible panel of speaker aligned for this. The session is happening next week, that is from 22nd to 26th September 2025, with the time slot that is 8:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Singapore time. I hope to see you all for this amazing webinar series. We'll be having 90 minutes of impactful session, including 15 minutes of Q&A. So do join us for this series as well. Also, we are running this AI tool challenge for 28 days, and we are planning to extend it as we are getting a lot of amazing responses from all the participants. Do join us as we have this panel of AI experts who are giving us a live demo with practical walkthroughs on AI tools. So this is started from 18 August with the time slot that is 10:30 a.m. Central. So this session is happening exact after half hour today. So you can join us for that session as well. And also, you can refer your friends and your colleagues to these powerful and knowledgeable sessions that we do conduct. And by doing that, you can earn rewards that is worth $400. And remember one thing, referring people to the knowledgeable and powerful session, you are taking a step ahead and becoming a thoughtful leader. And by doing that, you can enhance your credibility. And guess what? Top 3 winners will be featured on the GSDC Wall of Fame. So we do have these 3 winners. Let's congratulate to them, and we'll be definitely getting back to you, Emmanuel, Vipin, and Anand, for referring maximum people. They have topped and ranked first at our leaderboard because they have referred maximum people to our specific webinar, that is AI Leadership Mastery. So let's congratulate to them again, and we'll be getting back to you for the rewards shortly. Also, if you want to be a speaker for our upcoming events as a featured global speaker, you can definitely reach out to us, as we do have platforms for you, learning capsule, webinars, and the podcast. Also, we would love to connect with you all over the social media. You can scan this QR to connect with us over the LinkedIn. You can explore our website, that is www.gsdcouncil.org, to explore the information and details regarding the certifications that I've mentioned earlier. And you can check all the offerings that GSDC has for all of you. You can connect with us over the WhatsApp group to get daily update on the events and webinars and boot camps that we do conduct. Also, do not forget to share your session takeaway and the learning outcomes, your reviews over the Trustpilot. It will very helpful for us. Thank you very much for joining today's session and supporting us throughout the entire webinar series. I hope to see you all for the upcoming sessions as well. Until then, take care and keep learning. Thank you. Thank you, Peter.